Hey Titans, this is Mordecai from GamerTitan.com. In this video, I'm going to be going over how to use my quest system that I recently published to community content. So we're going to go ahead and hop over into Core here. Now, first off, I want to say I apologize for not filming a video recently. I've been extremely busy burning the candle at all ends with trying to maintain and work on my own core projects and various other things I've had to do. I've made some more time as of late, so I hope to be able to film more videos to help you guys both improve your knowledge on core, share what I've learned using the platform for roughly 3 months now, and help any way that I can. So the other thing is that during the filming of this video, Core announced a Dungeons and Dragons Game Jam, and with it they released the RPG framework. And I had a lot of questions in terms of if I was going to be releasing my quest system, which I did. However, I know it's kind of complicated because I didn't have the time to refactor it and make it simpler. And so the goal of this video is to help you guys understand how the system works. It's a bit complicated in terms of the code. However, to actually get it up and running is somewhat simple once you understand what you're doing. So we're going to be starting with the RPG framework, as I expect or suspect a lot of you will be starting with this framework. And what you want to do, if you haven't done so already, is go ahead and go to community content, search for RPG Quest System V1 by Mordecai. Go ahead and click on import here, click save, and now we have the RPG framework. So all we have to do is click RPG Quest Giver right here in project content and simply drag the quest giver into the world. Now I noticed that the pivot point is off. I'll try and fix that and update it, so hopefully when you download it, he won't be hanging out on the floor here. But just to do a quick fix, there we go. So just to demo it real quick, right out of the box it works with the demo quest. So if we click on preview here, you'll see that there's now Mather Cromwell here, and he has an exclamation point over his head, which means he has a quest. Click F to interact. Sword of Great Power, find the lost sword, either accept or deny. So if I accept the quest, you can see that the sword appeared here. So the sword actually appears when the quest is accepted. I didn't feel like it made much sense to have the sword always visible. And so how I have it set up is it will only show up when the quest is accepted. Now, right out of the gate, right out of the box, because of how the RPG framework is set up, if I exit the preview here and then click preview again, because the RPG framework automatically stores to player storage all resources, you could see that it's saved at this state of the quest, meaning I accepted the quest and it remembered that I accepted it but haven't completed it. The sword is visible to me. So if I go ahead and click F, I can grab the sword. And now Mather Cromwell has a yellow question mark above his head. So to show real quick, if I press J, here's the tracked quests. Find the lost sword is yellow, which means it's completed. Click F. Thank you for your help. Please accept this reward. Click complete, and the quest is completed. So now once again, if I exit and then press preview again, Mather Cromwell no longer has a quest for us. So that's all great, but what happens if you wanted to add more quests or to change the quest that Mather Cromwell has? So if we go into the RPG quest giver here and we de-instance the template, there is a few file structures here. This needs to be cleaned up a bit as it is kind of a mess, but the ones that you don't really need to worry about too much is everything in the server context shouldn't be changed, and everything in the quest panels shouldn't be changed, unless you're trying to actually change how it looks. So if you're trying to visually change how the panels themselves look, all that would be done in these panels here. Just be careful not to delete any of these. Just try and, unless you plan on recoding a lot of this stuff, just try and use what's here and then just change the colors, change the frames to kind of give it a custom feel for yourself. If you want, you could just use the default panels. That's fine as well. So go ahead and hide that so it's out of the way. And then under the quest giver here, this is the actual NPC. This is Mather Cromwell in this case. So if we click on the folder, RPG Quest Giver, and we scroll down here, we'll see that there's a few properties here. Now there's a lot that shouldn't be networked, so I might clean up the project and republish it to help you guys out. But there's a few things, there's a few custom properties that you do need to know about. So the first one is this quest ID is 1. So what this is doing is, if we look at the sword real quick, so in quest objectives, lost sword, sword again, and then sword client, if you scroll down, you'll see a trigger, a client for the trigger. You'll see a quest ID on the trigger is 1. So these two need to match up. And so what this means is that it lets the system know that this sword is for quest ID 1, this quest giver is for quest ID 1. So when you interact with this sword, it knows that this objective is for quest ID 1. And so you may be asking, what is quest ID 1 at this point? And so to find it, what you do is you go into My Shared Content, RPG Quest Giver, and then go to Dependencies. And in the dependencies is quest data, all in caps. So go ahead and open this. So the quest system is using JSON currently. And so if we move this down, you don't need to worry about anything below line 1. So what you want to do is copy this string here, this JSON string. And I found an editor online that allows me to use JSON relatively easily. So we'll just go ahead and paste this in. And you'll see that there's a error, and that's because core is using Lua, and Lua is making the JSON a string. So you just gotta delete the apostrophes and the error will go away. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch it over to tree. I can make this a bit bigger. And so Lua is a 1-index language, which means that it starts at 1. This editor is using 0, so just know that 0 is quest ID 1. It's always 1 behind. So quest ID 1. And so this is where it's getting that quest ID 1. So this is all the information for quest ID 1. The name is the name of the quest. The reward type, unfortunately, is not going to matter at the moment. The reward type and reward value. This is a module used, let's just say it's used in Heroborn. I might turn this into a module to help you guys out further, but right now I haven't taken that apart because that's even more of a mess at the moment. So the only things you need to worry about is name. So this is the name of your quest. Quest description is the description when you first walk up to the NPC and interact with them. This is the description text of what the player needs to do to complete the quest. Quest complete text also is not working at the moment. I'll try and update all this stuff so it actually is functional. The resource name, this will need to be changed. And what this is just simply the resource that is stored for the quest. And so what I like to do is just call it Q1 for quest ID 1. If we make a new quest and it's ID 2, we name it quest ID or Q2. Just make sure that it doesn't have to be, Q1. Just make sure that each quest has a unique resource name, or else if they all had Q1 and you had multiple quests, if the player accepted a quest and did an objective, it would finish it for all of the quests. This res required, this is how many objectives the player has to complete to actually make the quest completed. So with the sword, they only have to find one sword, and therefore it's 1. If the quest was like kill 10 things, then you would just simply make it 10. The quest text, this is what's shown in the quest journal when you press J, and so you'll want to give a little bit of a hint on what they have to do. So in this case, it's find the lost sword. If they had to kill, 10 NPCs, then name it, like kill 10 NPCs. And so if you want to edit the first quest, we'll change this to GamerTitan tutorial sword. And then what we do is we go back to code here, and you'll want to click, so you click on code and you click on this minify button. We just copy this string here, or this JSON rather, and we're going to paste it. You can delete this, put an apostrophe, and we paste that in between the middle. Save it. Go to core. Now I'm going to have to, since we already completed the quest, I need to go to File, Show Project in Explorer, go to Temp, go to Storage. I'm just going to delete the storage folder. And this is going to allow me to get the quest again. So now here's Mather Cromwell, interact, GamerTitan tutorial sword. So cancel out of that. We'll go back to JSON. And so we modified this quest, but what happens if we wanted to make a new quest? So what we do is, where it's this drop down right here, where it says 0, what we're going to do is we're going to click this little, not sure what this is, a table or window looking thing, and we're going to click duplicate. And so it's actually going to duplicate our other quest. And so all we're going to need to do is change it to ID 2. We're going to change our resource. Let's name it quest 2. Say we wanted it to be a kill quest, which I'll show you guys how to set up. Okay, just checking everything. Say we wanted to kill 5 things. Okay, that all looks good. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to code. We're going to minify it using this button right here. We're going to copy this new string, this new JSON. Same thing, just delete right here. Be careful not to wipe anything else out below here. What I'll do is I'll put some comments, and I'll update this so you guys have a little bit of a buffer. We just put our apostrophes, paste this in. So now our actual data has a new quest. So if we wanted to make a new NPC, we would just copy under RPG Quest Giver. There's the RPG Quest Giver folder again. I might rename this to help you guys out. But you just copy it, and now there's a new one. We can name him Titan, and all we need to do is under quest ID, we just simply change this to 2. Now, we haven't set up the actual objective yet, but the quest should be available. So here's Titan, GamerTitan quest 2, kill 5 things quest. So if I accept it, kill some stuff is the checked quest. Now, we don't have anything to kill because we didn't actually set up the NPC that we have to kill. And so this is going to be a little bit of work on your guys' end, but in the, let's see, under scripts, we'd have to do, it'd be under the NPC attack server. What we'll do is we'll add a new, so NPC attack server, make sure that you edit it from the project content, and we're going to make a new integer, and we're going to name it let's see, we're actually going to make a boolean first, and we're going to name it has quest. And then we're going to do an integer. And do quest ID. We're going to copy these. And this might be a bit scary for some of you. I might actually try to think of how I could do this. Because you have to edit these, unfortunately. This is how it's going to have to work. So what I'm doing is I'm copying. I made these two. So I made a boolean, which is true or false, an integer, which is the quest ID, and then I'm going to copy the custom parameters. So I made two of them. We're going to add them to the attack server. So we'll do this down below. And we're going to do if has quest. Actually, we're going to do this. Okay, so we're checking. So this is allowing us to actually check on each NPC if they actually have a quest, and then what the quest ID is. And so what we need to do is down at the bottom here, under drops rewards, we're going to do if has quest, then I just realized this is actually going to take more code than I initially thought. So what I might do is give you guys this file with, as an example, with the community content. So yeah, what we're going to need to do is do an asset reference. So we're going to do add custom property, asset reference, do quest data. We're going to click on the asset reference, and we're going to add this quest data. Oops. And we're actually going to add this up to the top here. We need to wrap this in a require. And if we open up the quest data, I know this is getting a little more complicated, but what this is doing is when we require this, it's creating a quest data table. It's looping through all this stuff in terms of our JSON, and it's making a Lua table and returning it as quest data. And so what we do is do quest table, quest get items. We're going to copy our magic numbers because this part's coded like crap. Okay, so scroll down to the bottom. If has quests, killer, add resource. Oops. 1. So what this is doing is it's if the mob has a quest, it gets the mob's quest ID from the quest table, and it finds that quest ID's resource name. And so the resource name in this case would be Q2. And this could be the amount. You can also add this as a custom property as well. We're just going to leave it as 1, which means every time you kill one, it adds 1. So we're going to save it. And as an example, we'll just grab, I'm not sure what the easiest mob is here. So we'll just lower their health down to 5. So this is a bit wonky, but under the attack server now, we have this boolean has quest. So we want this raptor to have a quest, and the quest ID needs to be 2. And so since we already accepted the quest, if we go kill this raptor, it should count. So press J here to kill some stuff, run up, kill the raptor, and you can see that it counted up in the top. The bar went up a bit. So just as an example, clone some raptors here. They might kill me, but we'll see if we can complete the quest. Alright, so as you can see, the quest is complete now, and I completed the quest. So that's how you add a kill quest. So once again, if you wanted, you could actually have, if you don't like having this on the attack server, I know this was pretty quick, you could add it directly to the NPC itself, but it's a bit more work. So at least doing it through the attack server, now all the NPCs have that. So like this human peasant now, AI attack server, it has everything connected. So that's how you set up a kill quest. It's on the attack server. Like I said, I might package this community content with an example NPC. If you wanted to make a collection quest, once again, it's under quest objectives, and you just clone the lost sword as an example, and under sword here, I'm not sure why I put all this together. This needs to be cleaned up as well. Just one of those things where as I'm learning core, I'm learning how to do stuff better and how to categorize and folder structures better. So might clean this up as well, but all you'd have to do is change the look of the object. So it's just all this stuff right here. So I'll name this Geo. So you just change everything in Geo. You want to keep the trigger the same, and you want to keep the quest trigger the same, the script, and you just change the quest ID to whatever it is that you put in quest data. So just to give a quick example, we'll make another quest real quick. Once again, we're just going to duplicate this, name it quest ID 3, find the other sword, change it to quest 3 for resource name. We only need 1. Okay, go to code, minify it, copy it, quest data, put it in between the apostrophes and save it. Just as a quick example, we already completed this guy's quest, but we're going to change his quest. Now he has quest 3. Find the other sword, find the sword, accept it. The sword did not appear, something did not work. That's because I made it quest 2. So make sure your IDs are lining up with what you're trying to do here. So I switched it to quest 3. And now I already have the quest, so the sword automatically appeared. So finish it, and it's completed. So that should help you get started. I know this was a bit more complicated. Trust me, it's a lot more difficult to code and set up from scratch. I will try and do my best to simplify things for you guys. Hopefully this answers some questions, and I'm sure it creates more questions. But if you have any questions, or if you want me to go into more depth on a specific thing, leave them in the comments down below. If you liked this video and you want more videos like it, please hit that thumbs up. And if you want more core related content, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Catch you next time.